4 historical deaths. So ridiculous they sound completely made up. In the late 1st century, rumors spread throughout Rome about an enormously wealthy man named Haroldus Thielmannus. Banquets weren't just his favorite pastime, they were his obsession. Every week he challenged senators, merchants, and even visiting nobles to feasts that lasted from sunset until sunrise. Tables overflowed with roasted peacocks, wild boar, honey-glazed dormice, oysters hauled in from across the empire, and enough wine to fill a fountain. No matter how much everyone else ate, Haroldus simply refused to stop. Just like your mom. Over the years, stories claimed he became so enormous that servants had to build larger chairs, widen the doors of his villa, and even reinforce his dining couch because ordinary furniture could no longer support his weight. Then came the feast that would become legend. Determined to prove he was blessed by Bacchus himself, Haroldus announced that he would eat until no food remained in the house. Hours passed. Musicians kept playing. Guests quietly slipped away, unable to watch any longer. Still, he kept swallowing one course after another. Witnesses claimed his stomach swelled larger than anyone thought possible. Then came a sound no one expected, a sound that could only be described in that time as a volcano mixed with a fart. Ancient accounts claim his abdomen suddenly burst, showering the banquet hall with wine and half-chewed delicacies while horrified servants fled. Did it really happen? Almost certainly not. Most historians believe it's an exaggerated Roman morality tale about greed and excess. But for nearly 2,000 years, people have continued telling the story of the man who literally ate himself to death. Subscribe to ChronoVault. In medieval France, a celebrated attorney became famous for one simple reason. He refused to lose an argument. If another lawyer spoke for 10 minutes, he'd answer for 20. If the judge interrupted him, he'd simply talk louder. Before long, people were packing courtrooms just to watch him perform. His greatest case drew a crowd of enormous proportions, just like your mum. The trial dragged on for hours as the lawyer paced back and forth, pointing at witnesses, quoting obscure laws, and tearing apart every argument the other side presented. Court officials repeatedly begged him to sit down, drink some water, or simply take a break. He refused every time. Nearly 15 hours after the trial began, he stood before the judge to deliver what he called the greatest closing argument of his career. Witnesses said his face had turned bright red, sweat poured from his forehead, and his voice was barely more than a rasp. Then, just as he triumphantly declared his opponent completely defeated, he grabbed his chest, staggered backward, and collapsed onto the courtroom floor. Legend claims his final words were, "I wasn't finished." Whether true or embellished, the story survived for centuries as proof that sometimes the strongest argument is knowing when to stop talking. Subscribe to ChronoVault. During the Renaissance, Europe was filled with men convinced they could unlock the secrets of the universe. One German alchemist believed he had done something even greater. After years locked away in his laboratory, he announced that he had created an elixir that made the human body completely immune to fire. Naturally, people demanded proof. A public demonstration was arranged in the town square. Curious spectators gathered around as the alchemist dramatically uncorked the glowing bottle, drank every last drop, and proudly declared that flames no longer held any power over him. Then, without hesitation, he walked toward a roaring furnace. His assistants smiled confidently as the heavy iron door closed behind him. The crowd waited and waited. Instead of hearing applause, they heard frantic shouting from inside the furnace. Moments later, horrified assistants rushed to pull him out, insisting the potion had somehow been mixed incorrectly or that the planets hadn't been properly aligned. Everyone else reached a much simpler conclusion. He was friggin' nuts. Whether every detail is true or not, the tale spread across Europe as a reminder that confidence is no substitute for evidence. Subscribe to ChronoVault. An elderly nobleman became famous throughout Europe for possessing what many claimed was the longest beard in the kingdom. It stretched nearly to the floor and was decorated with silver rings, colorful ribbons, and tiny gold ornaments that jingled whenever he walked. Travelers came from distant towns just to see it for themselves. The beard became his greatest source of pride. At an elaborate banquet, the nobleman rose to toast the king. As he stepped backward, one distracted servant accidentally planted his foot directly on the beard. Everything happened at once. The nobleman lurched backward, completely unable to catch himself. His enormous, your mom-sized carved oak chair tipped over with him before crashing down across his chest with tremendous force. Guests rushed to lift the chair while musicians stopped playing and servants panicked. According to the story, the beard itself wasn't damaged at all. Its owner wasn't nearly as lucky. Whether exaggerated or not, versions of the tale appeared in collections of strange European curiosities for generations, reminding readers that the very thing you're proudest of can sometimes become your downfall. Subscribe to ChronoVault. That wraps up 5 of history's strangest and most unbelievable deaths. Whether they're completely true, wildly exaggerated, or somewhere in between, they've survived for centuries because people simply couldn't stop telling them. Let me know your favorite in the comments. And if you enjoy bizarre history, forgotten legends, and the kinds of stories that sound too ridiculous to be real, make sure to like this video, subscribe to ChronoVault, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's hidden in history.